in the fall of 1974, I was freelancing and teaching trombone students in the Chicago area, and I'd been studying bass trombone at Northwestern University and with members of the Chicago Symphony, and I was preparing to take the audition for bass trombone for the New York Philharmonic that fall, in the fall of 1974. And a friend of mine, Ed Carroll, who's a trumpet player, was studying trumpet at the Juilliard, and he was studying with Jerry Schwartz, who was the first trumpet in the New York Philharmonic. And Ed asked Jerry, so what is it that they're looking for these bass trombone auditions? And Jerry said, well, we of course want to hear somebody who can play all the notes and get things right, but also we want to hear somebody who plays very musically. So, along with a bunch of other bass trombone players, went and took the audition in the fall of 1974 for the New York Philharmonic, and I made it to the finals. But in the finals, the conductor, Pierre Boulez, had picked some rather unusual pieces for the excerpts, and nobody played them very well, as I understand it. After the fact, Ed asked Jerry why it was that they didn't pick anybody, and he said, well, nobody sounded all that good. So they scheduled another set of auditions for the spring of 1975. So we all practiced our excerpts again, and I figured, well, there's no sense practicing the same excerpts that they had used for the finals. Boulez will probably pick, a bunch of other unusual excerpts, and so why bother? So, but my friend Ed Carroll asked Jerry Schwartz again, well, so what is it that you're going to be looking for this time that might be different from the last time? I said, well, no, it's basically the same. We want to hear somebody who can play all the notes and play very accurately, but also play very musically. So at this point, it's starting to sink in that, well, maybe they're really looking for somebody who can play musically. And in that audition, they used exactly the same set of excerpts for the finals that they had used the previous time, unlike what I had thought might happen. And Don Harwood, who was the bass trombonist at the Metropolitan Opera and who was a really fine bass trombone player, won the job. So the rest of us were happy because now there's another opening and the musical chairs could continue. And so we all geared up for taking an audition for the bass trombone position in the Metropolitan Opera, which they held in the summer of 1975 after the Met got back from its tour to Japan. And in preparation for that, my friend Ed Carroll was good friends with the co-principal trombone player in the Metropolitan Opera, David Langlitz, and he asked David, so what is it that you're looking for in these auditions for the Met? And David said, well, we want to hear somebody who can play all the notes and who could play very accurately, but primarily we're looking for somebody who plays very musically.